Hey, welcome to World Entertainment. Willow, the sequel series, has dropped on Disney Plus. Couldn't remember there for a second where it dropped. But the audiences are hating it. They're scoring it terribly. It has a 38, 38% uh, on Rotten Tomatoes by the fans. At least that's what it was. Uh, let's have a quick check here and see if they've updated. Oh god, one of the first things that pops up when you turn it on. Jesus Christ. Is bloody the new National Treasure series. Oh, it's dropped. It's dropped to 34%. Ooh. And the critic score has gone up from 84 to 86%. There's a lot about this show that just doesn't work. Here's one article saying producer Jonathan Kasdan says sequel series central lesbian romance keeps alive the spirit of moving the fantasy genre into a contemporary sound. What in Christ's name does that mean? And then the other one says Lucasfilm's Willow's audience ratings in the toilet. As fragrant beastish, alright, of a crap show. And the show is crap. I'll put it this way. I started watching the first episode last night. I'm not saying this to try and sound funny or try to sound big or like edgy or anything like that. I turned it off in 14 minutes. I could not take it. Oh my sweet Jesus Christ. So the entire show seems to be based around the character of Kit and Jade, who Cassin is talking about the lesbian romance. And that's literally what it was. It was just them being all coy and all around each other. And I was just like, what is this? Between the dialogue, the act, everything. 14 minutes into it, I had to turn it off. I was done. And Jonathan Kasdan, for people going, Kasdan, the writer of Empire Strikes Back? No, worse. His son, the dude who wrote Solo. You know, the movie that absolutely lost money. So he gave an interview to some rag. Can't remember which one. Polygon's Susanna Polo. And she attempted to really kind of get him to talk about hyping the romance between these two. And by the way, Jade, the character of Jade, is played by Freckle Jesus, as Gary at Nerdrotic likes to call her. The girl who played Emphas Nest in Solo, and she was the terrorist who killed a crap ton of people, innocent people, in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but Falcon wouldn't take her down because she's just misunderstood her. The Disney are obsessed with this one. But he went on to just give this baffling response where he says, what's interesting is I hope and I believe we're in a moment where you're going to see a pendulum shift in that, and hopefully the way that it's going to happen is that these kinds of queer stories, particularly like this one, that were just organic to the narrative we were telling, and find our way in, and it becomes less of a surprising and unusual thing to see. What organic when the only thing you said about the series was the queer story is front and center, and we done that on purpose. So then he says, because it's part of the landscape of the world around us, just like the diversity elements of casting. If you look at the original Willow, by no fault of anyone, it's not very diverse. By the fact that it stars dwarves. And we are, as we enter, what the hell does it say? And as we enter 2022, the world has changed. And the way we're absorbing entertainment and the faces we're reflecting in entertainment have expanded enormously. And we hope the show can be growing as the world grows. We're making it for modern audiences. Now, here's where it gets to the point where you're like, the fuck did he just say? Just as frankly, the movie was. One thing that I love about the movie is that you have this very classic fantasy, but at the heart of it, you have this very contemporary Val Kilmer character who has a sound that it's unlike any other 80s fantasy character that had ever been. And it was important to us to keep alive that spirit of moving the genre into a contemporary sound. What in the absolute living hell does that mean? He has a sound and we need to make sound? What? What are you talking about, you fucking donkey? And of course, this goes on the back of what Nate Moore was offering up as equally nonsensical assertion to the defense of the changes they made to Neymar, where he says there weren't really things we couldn't do from a character perspective for him, which is good because clearly we took a ton of inspiration from the source material, but we also made some big changes to really anchor him in that world in a truth that publishing never really landed on. I would argue, in a big way. We made some small changes. What, you mean like you made him Mayan instead of Atlantean? You made him Latin? You made him look completely different. You completely changed his name. You completely changed the origin of his name. You changed the meaning of his name. But Willow, all it is a gay story. That's it. Willow's not even in the first episode until the very end, by the way. Yes, I didn't watch it. I only lasted 40 minutes, but I have watched the reviews on it. And they have said Willow does not show up in the show until the final act. Or the closing out. He's basically Luke Skywalker in Force Awakens for the show, you know. That's called Willow. Where apparently Willow isn't even the star of Willow. The lesbians are. The girl power is. And everything about it is just wrong and trash. Fans don't love it. And like, look at some of the images as well. Like, look at the brother. Like, he's meant to be the big ladies man. He looks like a lady. Oh god. Oh, by the way, it should be pointed out, for all the critics who are sitting there and all the shills who are loving it, for the most part, actually, some of their credits, a lot of them have said, no, it's not for me. I was amazed to see John Campea saying no, that he was excited for it, and I think he said he was about 10 minutes into it and he was like, yeah, this isn't for me. Even Christian Harloff said, no, this is not for me. But then he went in the opposite direction. I was like, oh, but I took my kid to it because blah blah blah, which is fine. But when you see that it's really meant to be about the lesbian couple, like everything else nowadays is, it's just like, it doesn't feel or even look like the original movie at all. Where's Val Kilmer? Did they kill him off? No. Apparently, Mardigan just went on a quest and never came back. It's everything about it is crap. But for all the critics who are loving it, giving it the 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, should be noted the series has 8 episodes. They were given 7. That's right. The critics were shown 7 of the 8 episodes. Interesting. Very interesting. But anyway, Willow. It's out on Disney Plus now. That's not where I start watching it. Army Hearties. And I lasted 14 minutes because it was just, god awful. And what the hell it is with that freckle Jesus girl that Disney love, I do not know. But anyway, it's out, so watch it at your own peril if you want. But other than that, it's trash. It's getting trashed by fans and some of the shills, to be honest, which is weird. But whatever. Willow, but not Willow. It's a gay story now. Ooh. Anyway, I'll leave it there with this one. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.